Hello guys and welcome to today's video. In today's video, I am answering the question, what deck should I start with in Gym Leader Challenge? I believe there are personally two types that I feel are best suited for beginners of all skill levels, especially for people who are not as knowledgeable about the expanded format and the cards. Of course, my number one pick has to be Water. Water has many new Pokemon that have been released, it's mostly modern cards, and it's a very straightforward deck to pilot. The main cards you should have for your Water Hydro Pump list, which I believe is the best version for beginners, include Wailord, Veluza, Baxcalibur, Frostmoth, and the Inteleon line. And from here, there is actually a lot of customization in what you exactly want to do, giving you more flexibility to build with cards you can find around your shop more easily. Of course, I personally like the Hisuian Basculin, and there is a Basculegion that evolves from it that can be a powerful attacker. We also run the Palafin. When we switch into the active, it does 210 damage. One of the cards I do feel like most people want to have in their deck is Octillery, though it can be hard for beginners to find in their local stores. This Octillery is a really good support drawing until you have 5 cards into your hand. Kyogre is a really fun card too, being able to do 180 damage snipe anywhere on the board, just putting 3 energy back into your hand. And there's other cards as well. There is Laprases, there are Wishy-Washis, there is even another Rain Dancer in Blastoise. There's so much flexibility and customization with Hydro Pump. You can really make it your own list depending on what cards you really like to play around with. And because of that, Water Hydro Pump is one of the best types and a top tier deck that is beginner friendly. And the more experience you get with the deck, the better you get as a pilot, the more Hydro Pump continues to give, becoming a very in-depth and advanced deck. All thanks to this important Pokemon right here, Inteleon. The Shading Dealings ability on this one as its pre-evolution Drizzle are just that important to making Water as in-depth and interesting and competitive as it is. These two cards should not be compromised in your Hydro Pump list, and you should secure it as much as you can because that will make your deck highly competitive and will let you win games more. Of course, using Shady Dealings requires a bit of practice to get used to, but once you start to figure out what to grab with Drizzle and Inteleon, the deck will reward you immensely. If you want to have a Hydro Pump list to start with, I do have a video here you can go watch if you're curious about a deck list and how it functions. Now, of course, Water has many type-specific trainers, and here are some key ones you should keep your eye out for. Dive Ball is an older card, but is really good in Water because it lets you get any Water Pokemon to your hand with no cost, whereas cards like Ultra Ball, you have to discard 2 cards to get the same effect. Irida is also a very good card, getting you a Water Pokemon and a trainer card to your hand, which means with a single Drizzle play, you can go search your Irida out and get a rare candy Baxcalibur out as early as your second turn. Brooklet Hill is your type-specific Artisan, so this card is a must, though Artisan can work in the meantime until you find it. Nessa is a wonderful recovery card, putting in any combination of Water Pokemon and energy cards into your hand from your discard pile. This can help you easily power up something like a Veluza basic or a Lapras again, or can recover your Wailord, and getting the energy back is also wonderful because it could easily power up a big swing attacker like a Kyogre to swing and do 180 snipe to close up the game. Nessa is the best recovery for Water, and you should definitely hunt it down. Capace's Bucket is a Water-specific search card that pairs very well with Letter and Earthen Vessel to get Water energies out of your deck and into your hand. And one last specific card you should definitely look for when building your Water deck is Splash Energy. So Splash Energy, whenever the Pokemon is attached to faints, you get to return the Pokemon to your hand, though all other cards get discarded. That's really nice in recycling attackers like Wailord or Palafin or even your Inteleon, which you could play again to get use of your really good Shady Dealings ability. Now those are just some of the cards you should be looking out for when building your Hydro Pump list. Of course, feel free to customize and use what is available to you, but if you use these main backbones, you should have a pretty decent solid deck getting started. The other type I think is great for beginners to pilot is Grass. Grass also has a Flood version as well. Flood Grass utilizes Cherrim, which is similar to Frostmoth in water, but it goes to all of your guys. Think of it as a stage 1 Baxcalibur for Grass. Cherrim really makes Grass aggressive and is paired frequently with Eldegoss. With Eldegoss's ability Cotton Lift, you can search your deck for basic cards, put them into your hand, and then accelerate them into play. Grass also has the Busted Grottle, which can search out grass Pokemon from your deck and put them into your hand. There's also a Grovyle that does the exact same thing with a different named ability. The reason why Grottle is frequently played over Grovyle though is because of Torterra. Torterra has the Busted Evil Press attack, which does 50 damage for each evolution play, counting itself. So it's base 50, and with Grottle getting your evolutions out is a breeze. Brambleghast is also a very powerful asset in Grass, and it is a really heavy, beefy tank late game. It gets 50 more HP for each prize card your opponent has taken, meaning when your opponent has taken 5 prize cards, you get 250 more HP, making it a 350 stage 1 behemoth, and a powerful Nita's attack is hilarious as well. You flip for each energy attached to Brambleghast, and it's 80 times each head. Now, in the Cherrim builds, this is the Zarude I would play. With the Jungle Whip attack, you can put all energy back into your hand and do 160 damage, or you can just do 80. And there is Tropius as well, which does 130, but you have to move all energy from Tropius to another Pokemon, which early game you do Tropius and then move all the energy to Zarude or something like a Brambleghast, and now they're left targeting a blank empty slate. Now Grass also has some key specific items you should be looking for when deciding to build your Grass deck. These items can be a little harder to find, but they are really worth it. Vitalighter, put 2 Grass Pokemon from your discard pile into your hand, can easily recycle Cherrim for free. Turffield Stadium, once during your turn you can look for an evolution Grass Pokemon. With Turffield Stadium you can get out your Grottle or Grovyle, and then you can get any Grass Pokemon out from your deck after you do that. And Netball is also fantastic, getting a basic Grass Pokemon or Grass Energy into your hand. Now, there is one big problem with trying to play Grass as a new player, and it's this little card called Roserade that is one of the most expensive cards in GLC. It is a black and white card, and it is very good, making it highly desirable for players. Now, you can make do without Roserade for a bit, but if you are able to get a Roserade, it will greatly increase your deck's consistency. Now, this one is Japanese. GLC, you can play foreign language cards, just at major events. Make sure you have English copies. Now, Grass Flood I think is the best way to play Grass, but there is another fan favorite Grass build that is also very beginner friendly, and that is called Rillasaur. Rillasaur utilizes both Rillaboom and Venusaur to get energy out onto your field and double every single grass energy attached to your Pokemon. With Rillasaur, you can easily power up beefy attackers like Tapu Bulu with just 2 energy, so you're swinging 220 out of the gate. It also plays this Zarude, which with just 2 energies you're able to attack for a 140 base attack if you have your Venusaur online. And you could also run the Grovyle and run the Sceptile, which with Powerful Storm can do 20 more damage times the amount of energy attached to all of your Pokemon, counting each doubled energy towards this damage output. Now, I have played Rillasaur before, and it is a pretty straightforward deck. However, it is also a little bit more clunky because of the number of stage 2s you are inclined to play in the list. With the Cherrim build, it is much lower to the ground and has a lot more earlier aggression because the Cherrim is a stage 1, and I personally believe it is a better deck. Now of course both of these decks have a big weakness that you should know about before piloting, and that is a little card called Hex Maniac. Both of these lists actually play Hex Maniac because with Rose Raid and Inteleon you can search them out, and they are very powerful in the mirror match or against other types such as Psychic or Colorless. Hex Maniac is an X and Y card, so it can be a little harder to pin down, but it turns off all abilities from the time it was played until the end of your opponent's turn. So when you play Hex Maniac, you can control when it comes out, and you can play it after your abilities are used to shut off all of your opponent's ability, but conversely, your opponent can do the exact same thing to you, and both of these decks really hate having their abilities turned off. So learning to play around Hex Maniac will be the key to your success with these decks. And that is a general overview of Pokemon and cards you should be looking for when building these two beginner-friendly types. There are various things you can do to both types to make it customized to your personal playstyle, and both of these types are very good in their own right. I personally believe Water is an S tier type and can carry you very far once you refine a list that fits you, while Grass struggles a little bit more and is probably closer to an A tier type, but is very good nonetheless. I hope you guys are able to find deck ideas that you are excited to play, and if you did, be sure to share this video with a friend and let me know what deck you are excited to build, and I'll see you guys all in next week's video. Bye!